The hangar smelled of nylon and machine oil, its cavernous silence broken only by the soft hiss of air and the rustle of parachute silk. A man worked quietly at the far end, bent over a table, his hands steady and precise. He looked like no one special, just an older veteran with weathered features, folding parachutes for the SEAL teams with the patience of a craftsman. But when the commander walked by, his eyes caught something the others had missed. A tattoo, half hidden on the man's neck, glinted under the harsh light. And with that single glance, everything changed. Before I tell you what happened next, tell me in the comments where you're watching from. I love knowing who's listening. 30s. Tattoo wasn't just ink. It was a mark, one few ever saw in person. The emblem of a covert unit whispered about even in elite circles, a team whose missions never made headlines, but whose shadows shaped wars. The commander froze mid-step, his breath caught. He had seen it once before, years ago, on a man spoken of in stories almost too unbelievable to trust. The veteran didn't notice at first. He kept folding, his motions careful, almost reverent. To him, every crease mattered. Every knot tied meant life or death for a young soldier who might never know his name. But he felt the weight of the commander's stare. Slowly, he straightened, the silence in the hangar deepening. The commander stepped closer, his voice low. "Where did you serve?" The veteran's eyes flickered, carrying the heaviness of memories locked away for decades. He wanted to say nothing, to stay invisible, to let the world believe he was just another old soldier finding purpose in quiet work. But something in the commander's tone pulled at him, a mixture of recognition, respect, and suspicion. Around them, a few younger SEALs paused in their tasks, sensing something unusual. Their whispers rippled like wind through grass. They saw the commander rarely unsettled and never over a simple tattoo. The veteran exhaled slowly. "Far from here," he murmured, "and farther than I ever wanted to go." The words were simple, but the weight behind them hung heavy in the air. The commander's gaze dropped again to the tattoo. "I knew one of you once. They said your unit didn't exist." The veteran gave the faintest smile, one that didn't quite reach his eyes. "That was the point." The younger SEALs exchanged glances, confusion mixing with awe. They had heard rumors of warriors who carried no names, whose scars were buried under classified ink. To see one of them alive, folding the very parachutes that might carry them into battle, was something none would forget. And then came the moment of tension. Should the commander press him further, demand details he had no right to ask? Or should he honor the silence that had kept the man's past sacred? The hangar seemed to hold its breath. At last, the commander nodded. Not in command, not in curiosity, but in respect. "Then I trust every parachute you fold." The veteran looked down at the chute beneath his hands. His fingers trembled for the first time all morning, though he quickly steadied them. No medal, no headline, no mission, brief had ever given him more meaning than those quiet words. Later that day, the younger SEALs returned to their bunks whispering about the quiet man in the hangar. Some said he had saved entire units single-handedly. Others claimed he had vanished after a mission gone wrong. But they all agreed on one truth. If he packed their chute, they would jump without fear. Because strength isn't always shouted. Sometimes it's folded carefully into silence. Because kindness doesn't vanish. It waits, and it finds its way back. And in the echoing stillness of that hangar, a quiet veteran reminded them all that heroes don't always wear their battles on their sleeves. Sometimes they carry them as ink on their skin, and silence in their souls. If this story moved you, make sure to subscribe for more powerful stories of resilience and courage. And share this one with someone who needs reminding that quiet strength can change everything.